Hey guys, today on this video, I'm going to share 5 reasons why I think you should move to Middle Tennessee in 2025, and that starts right now. All right, so the number one reason for moving to the Nashville area in 2025 is a thriving job market. So if you look at the national average for unemployment, it's about 4.6%, where in the Nashville metropolitan area, we're looking at about 3.5% unemployment rate. Last month, from March to April, the Department of Labor said that there was 12,700 new jobs, and the unemployment rate fell by about 2,400 people. So you see that we're still, compared to the national average, Nashville is still thriving. And most of that's coming, healthcare is really huge here. Clearly hospitality, entertainment, we have music, and there's a lot of things to do here. And then also technology. So there's a lot of technology sector in the area. You've got companies like Oracle. Larry Ellis is moving Oracle's headquarters here from Texas, which is going to be, it's a huge technology company, but that's also going to have a huge impact on healthcare too. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're moving here. Also because of tax breaks and things for business owners seem to be good in the Nashville area. So number one is going to be a thriving job market. I feel like, I don't know if you're a political person, I don't want to get into that, but I feel like if things head in the right direction and we get things going the way they need to be going, that's only going to get better. All right, so number two is going to be cost of living. The projected median home price in Nashville is around $450,000, which is significantly low compared to other places in the nation that are popular, like Austin, Texas, and Denver, Colorado. Also, you've got we have no state income tax, right? So that's another saver. And then if you look at, like, for me, I'm from Michigan originally, and I talked to a couple of my friends, back in Michigan, and they live in just regular towns. They're paying like $7,500 a year in property taxes, and I'm paying like $2,200. So huge savings in property taxes, and cost of goods. Like, for instance, if you looked at gas prices compared to California, where they're like $5, $6, right now I think I'm paying, at the pump the other day, it was like $2.60 a gallon is what I paid, which fluctuates clearly. But so your cost of gasoline, and then also like tags, right? So I've talked to individuals that have moved here from California, and they're paying like $1,000 a year to put a tag on their car and do emissions and all this other crazy stuff, where I pay $60 annually for a tag. So there's a lot of savings, a lot of different things here that are going to affect that cost of living, and that's why I think that, to me, had to be number two on my list. Hey, are you looking to move to the Nashville area? Give me a call. Phone number's on right here, 615-772-7079. Listen, I'd love to help you. Let's jump on a call. Let's figure out what do we need to do to get you here. All right, so number three is going to be a rich cultural scene, and also, and that's going to involve music. Like, clearly, I know there's a lot of people that say, country music isn't what country music used to be. Clearly it's not. It's changed. It always does, right? Things always change, always are changing and evolving and becoming different. But what I would say is, musically, there's like 180 live venues in Nashville where you can go see live music, and that's all different types of music, right? So it's not just country, hip hop, rock, pop. I mean, there's all kinds of different types of music, different types of genres that you can go listen to. One thing that's cool too is like, so my wife and I, we love live music. You know, we've got First Bank Amphitheater in Franklin. You've got Ascend Amphitheater in Nashville. You've got Bridgestone Arena. You can go listen to music. Um, the Titan Stadium. You can go, you know, Nissan Stadium, which they're Nissan Stadium. They're getting ready to tear it down. They're building a new one next to it, and the new one is going to be elite. Like it's awesome. It's going to be really super cool. And then if you want to go to, you know, you got the Ryman and the Grand Ole Opry and the Schermerhorn, which is where the symphony, the Nashville Symphony plays. So if you go there, you know, I've seen different bands play there with the symphony, and that's super cool too. So, and then also, you know, like Nashville has different types of food, hot chicken, different types of bakeries, you know, so there's southern types of food, biscuits and gravy. You can go to really good breakfast places. You know, I'm just trying to think out of the top of my head, but there's a lot of places that you can eat. But then there's also, you got music festivals, right? Like Bonnaroo. There's a music festival. I can never do it with my lips. Pilgrimage Festival in Franklin. Also, there's like little festivals too. Like I found out there's a cool one in McEwen, Tennessee. I showed some properties there, and they have like an Irish festival there. And then there's also you got Muletown in Columbia, Mule Day, where they bring all these mules in from around the world, and they have a parade and hang out in the park. I mean, there is so much stuff to do here. That's another thing. I would say also, if you're into like hiking, there's all kinds of great parks here. A lot of free stuff. Like, you can go down what's called the Trace. Look it up, the Trace Parkway, and there is hiking trails. There is waterfalls. Like, there's just a ton of cool stuff to do. I mean, listen, if you're an active person and you're looking for a place where you can go and you can do all kinds of cool stuff, this is the place. And then also, I mean, we're 3.5 hours from the Smoky Mountains, and you can go over to the Smoky Mountains to Gatlinburg, and there's a ton of stuff to do there. Chattanooga, you can go to Chattanooga. There's a ton of stuff to do there. If you want to 4 hours, you can run to Atlanta. You can go watch the Atlanta Falcons. You know, if you want to see a different football team, go watch the Braves play, because we don't have a professional team in Tennessee. We do have a professional team, but they're like AA, and or AAA. It's not the same, right? So, but you can run to Atlanta in 4 hours and see a Braves game. If you want to jump in the car and take a 9-hour ride, you can drive down to Destin, Florida, or down to the Gulf, depending on the Gulf of USA, depending on what you call it, Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of USA. I don't want to get into that argument, but you can jump in the car. It's like a 9-hour ride and ride down to the beach, you know, rent a condo down there on the beach. So there's a lot of stuff to do here. And so for me, the cultural side, scene, the music scene, I kind of wrapped a lot of this into one thing, but to shorten the video up, but there's just a ton of stuff down here to do. And so for me, number 3 is cultural scene, and then activities. Absolutely. All right, so number 4 on my list that I've gotten written down over here is educational options. So per, you know, the educational, the Department of Education, Williamson County schools consistently rank in the top 10% of schools in Tennessee, with a graduation rate of around 95%. So that's why a lot of individuals that do research, if they're not sending their kids to private, or they're not homeschooling them, which is big. That's another thing that's big here in Tennessee, is homeschooling. We get a lot of people from out of state moving here because they like the way the homeschooling laws are here, and that's for another video. But Um, a, a huge percentage of people that move here that I talk to that are looking for houses, they want to be in that Williamson County area because when they do research on niche.com and the Department of Education, they see that Williamson County schools rank, higher than the other school districts um, in Tennessee. So, or they're up there. So they feel like with the cost of houses of where they're at and what they're looking for education for their kids, they feel like Williamson County is a good spot for them. And so education, I would say also like there's a bunch of good private schools here. I talked about that a little bit. Like my son goes to private school. We live down in Lawrence County now. I lived in Murray County for years, but we just bought a new house down in Lawrence County, kind of get out on land and move down a little bit further away from the chaos because we don't like traffic. I don't like traffic, so we got down here. But um, our son goes to a private school. It's a really good private school, man. Everybody's just great. The families are great there. You're gonna pay for it, but you pay for what you get. Um, but I recommend, I would say from what I've heard from people moving here from out of state, and this is not from me, this is just hearsay of what I'm being told is, there's other states where I guess they're like, they force shots on your kids. And like, I'm just being told they're teaching your kids things that they don't maybe reflect on your religious beliefs or, your moral beliefs. So, that's why we have a lot of people moving here from other states because they've looked at the school systems here and they feel like um, there's not as much of that, right? So they feel like their kids are protected more here. Uh, and that's just what I'm being told. I don't know because I don't live in those other states and I don't have kids in those other states. So that's just kind of hearsay. But I would say do your research on it. Um, you know, go on forums too. Like I always tell my clients, I'm like, hey, jump on like, these Facebook pages because you're going to have, especially if you're a mom, you're going to have a lot of moms on there that are going to be talking about different schools and things they went through. And if they moved from California or, Florida or wherever it is, right? Michigan, um, they're going to talk about it on these Facebook groups about the differences between being there and here. And you can ask them questions too. And you're going to find individuals that are going through something very similar to what you are, and you're going to get that information. So, but for me, from what I've heard, I'm going to throw number 4 is going to be education, the educational system. Oh, I do want to say this too. This is another thing I've forgotten to put this in other videos. So there are two opportunities now in the state of Tennessee. One is if your kids graduate from a Tennessee school, they get 2 years of free community college. That is huge. I've talked to other families about that, moms, dads, and they love that because in their state they're not getting that, and so they're having to send their kids to school for 4 years and pay for it. Where here, like with my daughter, we're getting ready to send her to community college for 2 years for free, and then she can get all her undergraduate stuff done and then move on to, a 4-year university for what she plans on doing in life. Um, so keep that in mind too. Like on the college level, you get 2 years of free schooling, community college. The other thing is, we just filled out yesterday because our son goes to private school. The state of Tennessee came out this year and they have a program where they're giving out 20,000 scholarships for $7,000 a piece per child. And so 10,000 of them are going to go off of income, and then there's 10,000 that are like universal. So if you make too much money, as long as you get in the queue on time and you fill it out and you fill everything out right and they accept it, they're going to give you $7,000 per child, that you get approved for towards going to private school. And that's huge because like the school that my son goes to, it's not as expensive as some of the schools, but we're looking at like, it's over $11,000 a year. So $7,000 off of that is huge. So those are some things too, as far as with the educational system here in Tennessee, that I think are great that other states are not doing. All right, so number five. This is what I'm going to say about number five. Um, I think a lot of it has to do with the people, and so what you're going to find is, yeah, you're going to have different types of people, different types of beliefs, somewhat, right? To say that, this is what I'm going to say. What I found is no matter whether you're right or left, the majority of the people that are moving here, when they move here, they're moving here for a similar pace of life. They're moving here for people that are kind and that are not, treating each other like shit. Like that's one of the things you'll find here is you're gonna find some people that are gonna be cruel, but you're gonna get that everywhere you go. But for the most part, everybody that you run into here, I would say 90% are going to be genuinely nice and kind people, and they're going to treat you good. Like, that's something that I love about being here, raising a family here in Tennessee, is that the people here are just, they're super good people. And it's not even just the people that are here, you know, that are from Tennessee that have lived here their whole lives. A lot of this is also the people that are moving here, because when I meet people, even like people talk about, oh, California, I've helped several people from California move here, and I'll tell you what, those people are all, they're kind people. Like, they're easy to get along with. They you can tell they have a good heart. They're good people. They literally, at the end of the day, they just care about taking care of their families, and that's what we're all here for, right? We want to be able to feed our families. We want to be able to have safety. We want to be able to have good education. We want to be able to, thrive and be in an environment that is one that you're comfortable in. And I feel like that's something you're going to get here in Tennessee. Now, different areas, like I said, are going to have different types of people. You got to get in where you fit in, right? And you just got to get in where you fit in. And so that's why it's important to do your research and watch these videos, these YouTube videos of people driving around, and people, realtors and individuals that have moved here. That's another thing too, is not just realtors are making videos. I'm finding videos on YouTube of like families that are like, hey, we moved from California to, Tennessee, or we moved from here to Tennessee, and this is what that this is what that move was like. And also, this is what we've found since we've been living here. This is what we've figured out. And so, man, there's a ton of good content. We live in a really good day and age with that, with YouTube and TikTok and all this, is that, we get to see things in places that back in the day they didn't have that opportunity. So use those resources. Clearly you probably are, because if you're watching this video, you found it on YouTube, because that's where I put it, on my YouTube channel. But just dig deep and find that place where you fit in. But for me, number five is just, man, it's just the people in Tennessee are just really good people. I love it here. I love the people, and I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. Hey, listen, if you want to move to Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, the Nashville area, I'm gonna put my phone number on the screen. Give me a call. I'd love to help you. I'd love to help you out. It doesn't matter if you're a family, if you're single. It doesn't matter what your background is, what you're planning on doing. I'd love to help you. That's what I'm here for. I help people move here all the time, so I understand what that process looks like. So, if you're not comfortable calling me, shoot me a text. Shoot me a text, and let's talk and see if we're a good fit for each other. If not, I can get you in the right direction. And so I'd love to help you move here.